Two organizations are coming together for a unique collaboration to help Lubbock residents receive an education.
KCBD News Channel 11's Dylan Villa explains the partnership and how you might want to get involved.
At Literacy Lubbock, we do adult literacy and education.
And Literacy Lubbock is continuing to expand its reach to Lubbock residents, this time in the food industry. The nonprofit recently partnered with Picoso's Mexican Kitchen to offer GED classes to members of the Texas Restaurant Association. Garrett Freemold, the Director of Personnel Development for Picoso's, says the partnership makes a lot of sense.
We partner with a lot of different organizations here in Lubbock, whether that's through our donations that we actually do for them, or just through opportunities to make available for our team members. So whenever we reached out to them, it was just brought upon that it would be a great opportunity not only to help our team members out with their GEDs, but other people in the restaurant industry as well.
On Mondays and Fridays from 9 to 11 a.m., study sessions are held at Picoso's. Those who participate will first take a practice test. Afterwards, they'll receive a study guide to focus on whatever they're struggling within 4 core subjects, which includes math, English, science, and social studies. Elizabeth Reeves with Literacy Lubbock says earning that GED doesn't come easy.
It's a lot of studying for them. It's very much a marathon, not a sprint. So we try to assist them by tutoring and preparing them to take those tests.
Any restaurant worker in Lubbock can sign up online at literacylubbock.org, or you can fill out the paperwork at Picoso's during your first class. Picoso's and Literacy Lubbock hope this partnership can help benefit restaurant workers achieve a huge milestone in life.
The GED sort of opens doors to all sorts of, educational opportunities, financial stability, more money, better jobs. It's the gateway to like a more stable, successful future.
And we have a lot of people in the restaurant industry who maybe don't have a lot of confidence to go back to college, go back to school, or to work on some of the goals that they have. But just those little steps and taking these tests and getting their GED is a huge milestone that could boost their confidence to accomplish even greater things that they want to do in their life.
Dylan Villa, KCBD News Channel 11.